Welcome to Facebook Live here on BT Sport. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on all sorts of social media. We're here at Anfield before the massive game tonight between Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain. A lot of expertise alongside me as well. John Arne Riise has come with the Norwegian army of Liverpool fans, and Michael Owen is here as well, so we'll talk through tonight's game and a few aspects around the Champions League just in general. If you've got any questions, send them to us on Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you like. We'll take them and we'll pick them up and put the best on air. And we've got a poll running as well. I have to mention this one earlier. We're discussing all the candidates, the English competitors in the Champions League. Who is going to go furthest? Do you want to have a go early, boys, before I tell you the vote right now? You could probably guess the two front runners.
Well, it's got to be Manchester City and Liverpool. I actually fancy an English club to win the Champions League this year. I'm really confident as well. I think we've got two magnificent teams in particular going at it. And tonight's going to be a pretty special occasion as well.
Absolutely, it's going to be tremendous tonight. Same, John?
Yeah, I got to agree with Michael. I think Liverpool and Man City is playing some unbelievable football. Typical for the Champions League, the way they play offensive, attacking football. And, they're giving our pleasure to watch. So I'm expecting Liverpool and Man City to go a long way, maybe even winning.
You're in tune with the public. Liverpool's 38% at the moment. Manchester City 42%. Manchester United 15%, Michael, and Spurs a lowly 5%, which is a little bit disappointing for them, particularly as they're playing in Milan against Inter in just a little while.
I'd actually think Chelsea have got a good chance if they were in it, but I don't fancy Manchester United and Tottenham at all. On current form, as we know, neither club's really strengthened their squads as much as probably the manager would have liked. Average starts to the season. I know teams can warm up, and really you just got to squeeze through the group stage, and then it gets serious, doesn't it, in the new year? But I don't think they're got good enough squads to win it. I think Liverpool and Manchester City are both a couple of steps ahead of them at the moment.
It's very strange that Pochettino's deliberately saying we are not contenders for this crown as you take your first step in Europe. I thought that was quite surprising.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's got to be look at his squad, you look at the other teams. In football you never know, because you need a good start in the Champions League. If you get a good start in the first group game, you get confidence. But overall, looking at the squad, I don't think Spurs is going to have a chance to go all the way. But you never know, they might surprise us. But on paper, I don't think they're good enough.
Well, let's get on to tonight, because it's going to be fantastic. This place is going to be buzzing tonight. It's the tie of the round, no question. So, Liverpool, how much have they learnt from that campaign last season? Is that something that's going to stand them in good stead here tonight? Because they've also strengthened the squad as well.
Yeah, I just think they're a really good European team. We've seen evidence of that in recent seasons. Get into the final in the Europa League, get into the final of the Champions League. Not many teams come here and outplay Liverpool. In fact, none in recent times. So I think Liverpool are going to be a serious team. They set up really well for the Champions League. These teams that think that they can come here and pass the ball around the back have got another thing coming. They pounce on you quick, they win the ball high, and then they blast into the game and just score goals at will. So they were top scorers in the Champions League last season. I think they're tailor-made for this competition.
Set this game up for us as well, John. We know it's going to be quick.
It's going to be quick, and I think I spoke to Michael before. I think this is probably the game of the Champions League at the group stages. I mean, you can't even predict a better team to play against for Liverpool. For neutral, even for our Liverpool fans, which I think we both are here tonight.
Yeah, I can tell that.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive game because we have two teams who can attack quick and they leave spaces, but I feel Liverpool are a stronger side when you look at the whole team, through all from the keeper up to the strikers. It's going to be an entertaining game for everybody and a great way to start the Champions League.
How important is it that Firmino plays here tonight, because he's so central to the movement, particularly up front?
I think it's very important because I think you always want your best players to be available to play in the game. He's been so good in the last couple of years, and especially in the Champions League. So for everybody, for the team, for the players, for the manager, for the fans, I think it's important that he plays. I think he will play, and if he does, it's going to be an exciting game.
Is that a bit of inside knowledge there? Have you had a little
No, I don't have, but I think, he rested yesterday in training. I don't think that means a lot because he played a game against Spurs. So I do think he played because nobody want to miss a big game. It's got to be quite a serious injury if you want to miss this kind of game, and I think he'll play.
Jurgen Klopp had obvious flaws in the side last season where we saw what we thought were obvious flaws. He's actually solved a lot of those problems now. That must make Liverpool proper contenders.
Yeah, he's not messed about, has he? Find a problem and doesn't matter what it costs. You've just got to solve that problem. He did it midway through last season, obviously with Van Dijk at the centre defence, and that's almost just improved everybody around. The right back, the left back, the centre half pairings, no matter who now, playing alongside him, they just look different players. And then to go and get a goalkeeper, and again, no messing in the transfer market, 70-something million or whatever it was. You know, if you need to go and fill a hole, let's say, then you might as well go out and find what you consider as the best person available in the world to fill that gap. Van Dijk, Alisson, they're probably two of those. None of the rest of the team really needed surgery. Of course, you know, if a good player comes available, let's say, in this case Shaqiri, then, you know, he's you can go and get him if you think he's a value for money. But in general, I don't think much else needed to be done, but what needed to be done was done, and in emphatic style as well.
Yeah, and he's got options in midfield as well now, because they were sometimes quite thin. In terms of the forward lines, of course, we love a vote, and there's another vote, and it'll be part of the programme tonight, which is on BT Sport 2. We start live with this game at 7 o'clock. It's on 4K Ultra HD as well. The vote is who has the best front three.
I knew that was coming.
It's going to be obvious. Also, PSG sometimes have a front four if Di Maria's joining in. So, tell me, go on, who is it? See if you're still in tune with the public. I'm asking you to tell me what the public think, not what you think.
Can I dance around it a little bit? Individually, I must say, I would say Paris Saint-Germain. But as a team, the way they work together, I'd have to say Liverpool. And if I was picking the best players out of it, I'd probably say Neymar, Mbappe, Salah. So I'd probably say 2-1 to a PSG.
Pretty much how the voting is, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah,
good.
PSG 62%, Liverpool 38%. But that's with Firmino, obviously.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, it is a tricky one. But as I say, individually, I'd go with Paris Saint-Germain. But when you see them all tonight, I'd say that the way they work together, you'd probably be saying the Liverpool trio.
So, John, Michael's been talking about the Liverpool defence and being settled. And this is the proper test tonight, though, isn't it? You've got two young fullbacks, very quick fullbacks, but they're playing against an entirely different level of player. Do you agree?
I mean, if you're a fullback and you want to be tested,
Yeah.
tonight is a big test for both of them. You know, Robertson and Trent, this is the ultimate test to prove how good are they. And we know they're good, we know they're quick. And to be honest, I think they can keep them quiet today. Of course, Neymar and Mbappe will have chances. They will have space sometimes to go one against one. That happens every game. But overall, I think our fullbacks are going to do well today. But this is the ultimate test because, I mean, as Michael said, individually, those three up front for Paris is frightening.
So you'd be looking forward to be playing that fullback role today, would you?
No, I would have actually pulled a groin today yesterday and missed the game because that would have been... no, I mean, I think Robertson's going to be fine today, but it's going to be a big test for him against
His
Mbappe.
pace helps him, doesn't it? Get up and back. But it's whether they stick or twist. It's whether they push on and are super offensive or whether it's a little bit more cagey.
I think Liverpool today just have to play their own football. Don't think about too much about the opposition. Obviously, Robertson will think about Mbappe and Trent about Neymar, obviously, but as a team, play the way they always do with Klopp because that's what's working for them, and put Paris on the pressure from the start. Because when we get this crowd going, they help so much and they can intimidate a lot of players.
PSG are under pressure. They keep dropping out of this last 16 or the quarter-finals, with the investment and the interest and obviously all the pressure that's around the new boss as well. It's difficult for them. Liverpool have gone all the way to the final. Paris have spent all that cash and got nowhere near.
I think what the recent years have shown is you can't beat experience in this competition. Of course, Real Madrid winning it so many times. Even last season, when we started the competition, I saw, you know, the odds were sort of Real Madrid were about 4th or 5th, and Paris Saint-Germain were favourites. It's all based on the quality of their players, and everyone gets excited. But I tell you what, experience at this level, especially in the big games, is really key, and that can only come with time. I'm sure they'll have another decent campaign this year, but you know, I'm still going with the teams that have shown it in the past, the likes of Liverpool that have got to the final last season and have improved their squad since. Manchester City are another team that have, of course, had that experience getting further and further in the competition. So I still think Paris Saint-Germain are slightly inexperienced in that way. Got all the great players, but you know, need to come together and do it on the big stage.
What do you make of PSG, John?
No, I agree with Michael. I mean, the manager has a lot of pressure. You know, they invest a lot of money in players because they want to win the Champions League. They're winning the League 1 in France now 5 times in the last 6 years. So, you know, that's not They want to do better and bigger in the Champions League, and that's a big pressure for this season. And they have the players to do it. But like Michael said, you need experience. You need to do it on the big stage for a long time, because you can play certain games well, but you need it when you really need it, like in the quarterfinal, in the semi-final. And they haven't done that lately, but they certainly have the players to do it.
It's going to be a sensational match, a fantastic occasion, noisiest stadium probably in Europe. Every night, actually. It's live here on BT Sport 2 from 7 o'clock. It's on 4K Ultra HD as well. Liverpool against Paris Saint-Germain. John Arne Riise will join us, Michael Owen as well. Rio Ferdinand was meant to be here, but he's got stuck in traffic, so he was going to give us a little bit of context.
He was always slow.
Yeah, so he's always slow when it's coming to Anfield. All the best.